Right.
She's still in Hawaii, huh?
Yes, Tammy is still in Hawaii on the trip she won. Yes.
She won a
Oh,
trip
she
to
won
Hawaii.
it.
She won it
Wow.
for work, like a certain level, at work for sales or something. Yeah.
What does she do?
I am not. It's something she sells curriculum or something like that. I can't honestly tell you what most of my friends do for a job anymore.
That's
I have no
no,
idea.
that's pretty cool. No, that's just pretty cool to win a Hawaii
Yeah,
trip. That's
she did.
awesome.
She was in the top in I think the country or something, and we focused on it working together before, and
Oh,
she had
cool.
it. So
Ah, good for her.
all right. Okay, so this is our closing that I didn't set originally, but felt like we definitely needed to have a completion, even though I talked to you all separately, a completion moment. Because technically it is week 12. So next week's kind of like 13 week. Just a baker's dozen, I guess.
There you go. There you go.
Wait, I can hear you, Sherry.
I keep forgetting we started in the middle of January.
Mhm.
As
Yeah, so
Wow.
really would make sense because we don't have just 4 weeks in a month. I say it's a 3-month program, but it's really, I guess
Yeah.
12 weeks. Yeah,
It is.
something like that. Nothing comes out exactly right.
It's all good.
It is all good. Exactly. Exactly. Wow. It's hard to believe that it's like, yeah,
3 months have gone
it's here
by.
already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time moves very fast. In other moments, it moves slowly. All right. Well, I did the blast earlier, and a couple of you were on there, and I started talking, and things were just coming out. So it was all
Yeah.
like
That was
buzz today.
a lot of confirmations, actually. That was a lot of, ironically, a lot of stuff that you were spewing out at the blast. It was like, because there was a meditation thing I did today that, and it totally tied in with it all. It was just like, okay, I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Cool. Oh, so I did say I was going to share something.
Yes. And I was going to remind you too, because I definitely want to hear about it.
Oh, okay.
The
So
book.
this morning, yeah. So I am participating in another co-author and multi-author book called Divinity Speaks: Women Who Tune In and Trust Divine Inspiration. I really like the title. It's a different publisher than the book I did last year. So it's a different experience, I guess. And she said to put out to send in my bio. And I had to watch a little video on what she suggests the bio includes. And she said we could post it. So I posted it. And oddly, she was messaging me yesterday. But then when I asked her about it, she didn't answer. And this morning I'm like, well, did you see the post? Is that how you wanted me to do it? She's like, yes, I have a strict rule not to talk on the weekends. You messaged me in the morning. I don't know. I'm like, you messaged me in the morning though. So okay, whatever. And she started wanting me to condense things and change stuff. And it just came, I got really frustrated with that because I've been in a lot of copywriting things. I write, and then everybody's always, well, you're not saying it so people can understand. You're not talking to that 5-year-old person. Well, I'm pretty sure none of my clients are 5 years old, but okay. And I have done that through all these people that I'm invested with. And this morning it came to me, I've heard for a while, it's the vibration, not the words. It's the vibration, I know that, but I really get that. It's a vibration, not the words. And so when she did all that this morning, and what she told me to shift it to, put accolades and awards and say where I live, and that's mundane, boring shit. I'm sorry. And I don't really have any accolades. I put on there that I was a international bestseller. Well, author because that was the book, but I don't believe in that. That's just all stuff that's boring. I wrote this pretty much the same one I wrote in the other book. And it came to me this morning that I'm talking to the higher part of people, and we're being taught marketing wise to talk to the low place, to talk to the
Yes.
dumbness of people.
Yes.
And I was like,
Yes.
this, if I was a person, and I know sometimes, you know, coaches will say, well, you're at a higher place than your client's going to be, so you have to talk a little different. But even if I was my client, I would tune into what I'm saying. And so I said to her, I said, well, is that acceptable if this is what I choose? She's like, well, yes. So then this is what I'm being told. And also this morning is just really stepping in, like I said at the blast, stepping into who we are and really tuning into that and letting it evolve, because we don't even know who we are. I talk about that, be who you are. People don't know who the heck they are because we've been told for so long who to be, how to act, how to show up. And it's not in alignment with truth of who we are. So I'm just here to say, really, do it your way. I mean, yeah, let people who maybe know how to copyright tell you, but even this program, the copywriting person that I work with, and I respect her and her thoughts, told me not to name it Clarity to Creation. She said that's too heavy. I was like, I don't know, that's what I'm being called to call it.
Well, and not all marketing people have a high level of expertise. You know, just skill level. You know, I come from that world, and as you know, if you have to push your laurels, you probably don't have much substance behind if that's the only thing you have to talk about or need to talk about it. And I love the point you're making. It's the vibration, not the because obviously she's not your target market, and she's not the book's target market. If she was, and that's like advertising 101. You don't talk to yourself, and it sounds like to me like that's what she was doing. And you know how vibration works.
Mhm.
So, you know, there was like two things going on, plus the fact that you were trying to accommodate what, you know, she was wanting, and then you ended up standing in your truth.
Well, when you sign up for something, and I know that if people have a format, I'll follow their format. That's fine. But she also, I put on there, Tammy Braswell, the vibrational goddess. I called that's my title. That's what I'm claiming. And I want to put it feels a little strange, but I want to put it out so that when people put my name together with that, I'm the only person using it. I own the domain. And she's like, yeah, for marketing, we both know what that means, but somebody else can call themselves the marketing maven, or all these names. Even calling yourself a certain coach is really just giving yourself a title. And she wanted me to remove it. And I was like, no, no. Then she wanted me to put AKA. That sounds like low level. And then she's like, and put the founder of Create by Vibration. No, so I'm writing my way. If it flops in the book, then that was my investment that went flat, or whatever. But geez, I just wanted to really share that because you are doing business stuff. Just really listen to yourself above all else.
Thank you. No, you know what? I want to thank you for all that, because that's really something that's kind of been contentious with me for a little while now, because like you said, I'm getting ready to redo my website and now do it more from my perspective. My friend did a good job. I mean, she does websites and stuff, and she's also she does marketing stuff and for the people too. But I've come to realize, like you said, it's like, it's say, I mean, I don't like to use the dumb down part, like you said, but it is. It's like, no, but this, and again, it's like, but this isn't me. And just as you said, it's been tying in with what I was working on this morning with myself, that it's like, no, we are in the golden age now. We're at a space where it's safe. We're at the space where be who you are, and to speak it, be it, without having to worry about all that anymore. And it's like, so no, this is beautiful, because yeah, I know that I plan on changing, my website, and it's like, if my friend has a problem with it, I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, but this is how it's got to be. And like you said, it's like, and just like Sherry said, I know who I want to attract. And it's like, I've lived a whole life here so far in this human lifetime, living by everybody else's, like you said, you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way. And now it's like, now it's time that it's like, no, you're going to now learn to do it the way it should have been done.
Well, I also realize, is I've listened to that for so long, and so many people talk about in the the healers and all that, how they still struggle. And I do everything that people are telling me to do, and it's never fully been aligned. And even though I can recognize that and feel the rub, it's like, no, but people are not going to understand you if you write a long email. They want only emails this big. My people will read my email. But today it just came to me this morning, and I was told, Tammy, you talk to the higher part of people. Everybody else is talking here. Talk to the higher part.
Well, and it's using which I think it's funny because of the name of the book. It's using the divine feminine. It's using the feminine version of marketing to include the intuition. Like, there's something I was introduced to recently called Google Trends, where you can do keyword searches and see, how important it's been.
SEO,
No, as far as search terms, so that you can tweak. But the second half of that, and this business coach that I've been working with this last while is the one who introduced me to it. But the second half that he uses is, does it feel right? And then go to Amazon and start doing book searches.
Titles,
to see, how many reviews does this book have, like how it's landing, and then ask, does it feel right? And keep doing that over and over until it feels right, until you have the alignment. And to me, again, lower level skill set marketing, doesn't feel like they can lean on their intuition, that they know the rules enough to be comfortable breaking them, and so I love this conversation. And sometimes, there is a keyword that maybe doesn't feel quite right, but has such a big spike in the marketplace that you want to try to like fit it.
Yeah, that's okay too.
That's okay. Yeah, but
if it's really just doesn't, like having somebody, and I've done this for years. I wrote in Natural Awakenings magazine, if you've ever heard of it. I was friends with the publisher of the one here, and I did my first events, workshops. And so as an exchange, I was doing Akashic record readings that I originally started out doing for the publisher and her family members. And she let me publish my articles, and her editor would tear it apart that it didn't sound like anything I said. And I would say to her, well, this has to be in there because it means this. And she, well, it's not grammatically correct, or it's not in alignment with whatever. And I'm like, one time she tore one so much apart, I said to her, you can publish it, but don't put my name on it. And she was like, what? I said, you can't put my name to that. That's not what I wrote, and that's not what I meant. And I even worked with somebody who wanted me to be the next Esther Hicks channeling. He was going to be my Jerry. We did all this stuff, and he was going to do all the marketing, so I could just be the channel because the part that I like, and the physical stuff is messy and I didn't want to handle it. And he would write emails, and I go back and I'd be like, vibrationally, you can't sign my name to this because, and he gets so frustrated. He go, well, I trust what, they're saying. Well, if you really trust it, people will say one thing, but they just, and it is challenging to fully live this stuff because we're still functioning from that old fit in.
Yes.
Do it a certain way, be quiet about it, to let your light shine. You
Right.
have to let go of all that. And it's an evolution. It isn't just in 5 minutes, just let it all go. It's just, that's not going to happen. But to really just notice this stuff and then open another layer of yourself and open another layer. And that actually scares a lot of people because it does. I don't want to ever say irritate. It rubs against what they do feel deep inside.
Their comfort. Yeah.
How they're
comfort
being.
levels. Mhm.
And our souls want to naturally do that. And I really believe at this time, it's time to be all past all that the shit in life and to really step up and live this amazing, vibrant, technicolor kind of life with our soul. And we're still all some way trying to be good about it, not upset anybody. And when we really unleash it, I really believe that it's actually gonna do the opposite of what we've been taught that kind of a thing will do.
Okay.
And so as you go do all these things, when stuff comes up, just think about, is it really you? Is it really the you want to be? Not the you that everybody else has told you or the you that fits in. Is it the you that you really want to talk from? Is it the you really want to be? And it doesn't sound overly, like I've already known this stuff, but this morning, whatever it was, I got a little kick in the butt that said, hey, she just come. I am not going to write my stuff boring like that. Going to write my thing my way. And unless you're saying I absolutely cannot, this is how we're doing it. It falls in the word count. So, there you go.
Good for you. Good for you. Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you for all that. Again, it's very relevant and definitely taking it all to heed. And I am definitely, because that's kind of where I'm at myself. I'm like, I've skirted around for everybody for so long. And here I'm finally, like you said, and it is out there enough because my God, we have these conversations with people like just a few years ago, you wouldn't be talking like this. So we know it's enough out there, so it's time to start putting it, like you said, taking it to another level and layering it up because, it's the only way to get it going is to move it forward. So thank you. Yes, I'm all on board with it myself.
So for this, I just, I would say I have all of your last posts, but I can't see without glasses. Either these, I can look down, or I wear these, I have bifocals, and then I look at the wrong section, can't see anything. So, I'm just wondering from each of you, where you feel you're at, how do you feel like you have created a momentum of what you hoped for when you came in? I know they were all big things, so 3 months may not be, I mean, if it was really all complete, that'd be awesome. But I knew that the possibility is, or it depends on your energy and what we're working on, but the clarity to me was the big part. So I guess what you each think and where you feel you're at.
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it because it was just nothing I ever worked on really before, like I know that's what I was supposed to work on in all my groups, or not supposed to, but like would have helped the most. And I just never did. So, and you remember in the beginning, I was like, I don't know, Tammy, if I should do this. I don't know. I'm like, you were like, Randy, yes, you should. So I'm so glad I did because I definitely, I definitely see a difference. I definitely see that it has come into my life. I always would say to you too that it's a little harder for me to understand sometimes because it's not tangible. It's not like a thing, but it's still in everything. Like every time I go back to like eating or whatever. Today I wasn't even hungry until I think 2 o'clock. Like I just couldn't eat. Like I just didn't want to eat anything. I didn't want to drink. Like it just was not in my realm of anything I wanted to do. And that's very different because I think I also used to just wake up and eat breakfast with the kids because it was breakfast time, and then like I guess a couple of times this last month I just couldn't or I didn't have time and I was like, I'm not even hungry. I don't even know why. Like I would eat. Don't make yourself eat if you're not hungry. And then, but that's one thing, but it was also like the emotional eating. And that's just, like I said, I have a really good relationship with food now. And if you didn't say that the way you did, I don't know if it was like on one of these calls or the private calls. I think it was the private one. And I was like, I really thought about that. And that was like the catalyst to like kind of flip everything. And it's like, I think I was saying in the post, it's like happening in a lot of the areas. And yeah, it just seems to be like everything's sort of up leveled week to
Because
week.
one of the things that you talked about that you were going to pick was maybe business and wanting more money to come in. And your last post was all about you turned on automatic bill pay and clients paid, your father's helping with your renovation, your husband comes home and tells you bumped up employees to full time and more hours. So you got that anyway. See the backside.
Exactly. Because it all like trickles into everything else. So.
But you chose one thing to more focus on, and then all the other stuff kicked in instead of going, well, I don't know. That's that clarity. Just really, people, be clear.
Yeah, every time I do a blast or anything, that's what I pick. I pick that one thing still. And but I guess I should ask you this. So like, when should I stop picking that? I guess when
it feels satisfactory to you. When you feel that it's gotten to a place that you're all good with it, then choose something else. So I can't tell you when that is. It's when you decide, hey, you know what? I'm living what I wanted to live. It's still going to unfold, but hey, let's focus on something else now.
Okay.
Because it's not really going to stop anyway.
Right.
It's just going to keep, but if you've gotten the momentum and you've got it, hey, I can see what I wanted to see, at least enough, because even your business is going to keep growing. It's not going to be like, okay, I focused on it, it's all done.
Right.
You're going to want something more, and it's going to change. It's just going to keep doing it. But maybe you want to put your attention, like Tammy and I for a while worked on a relationship. She got that and she wanted the house. And they're intertwined, but
right.
Yeah,
right.
so
No, I still feel like I have some more work to do in this area, but it doesn't feel like before where it felt just like so far away. It was like Z, and now it's like D, it's like, or whatever, it's pretty close. And even today I know you guys probably were like, why does she talk about the gym all the time? But that's like where I can have my like comparison of things. And I went today for the first time because I had COVID last week. So I wasn't there, and I went today, and I saw someone I hadn't seen since before COVID. And we used to do this one class together all the time, and she's in really good shape, and she's still in really good shape. And so I see her and whatever, and this other friend, and I was like, I really kind of don't. She's standing right next to me. I had a mask on because of COVID, but I was like, oh, she like notices me. I'm gonna have to say hi to her. Like I can't really get out of this. And I was like, all right, you know what? It's fine. And it was totally fine. She's like, how are you? And like I didn't think about. I was like, she's probably looking at me because she was like checking me out for a second. She's probably like, wow, she looks so different. But like it didn't bother me. It didn't upset me or make me. In fact, I kind of noticed that she and the other girl, who I would consider my gym friends, not like my good. I have gym friends that I'm very good friends with outside. These are like my, say hi to people in the class. They were bitching about a bunch of things. And I was just like, I really don't want to be in this conversation of the stupidness they're bitching about. I wonder why she's so angry all the time. And like, and I was like, just kind of stepping out and watching this. And like, they're just chattering, cutting each other off. And I was like, and that was actually what was kind of cool about it was like, I mean, you know, you get sucked into those things sometimes and you don't really want to say those things, but you're just kind of in them because they're saying them. And this time I was just like, things have changed for me, I see. And it was good. It was definitely all good. So
That's good.
yeah, normally that would have maybe like upset me or,
Mhm.
and not, you know, no, I still again wasn't hungry till 2:00. And so it didn't do anything except make me realize I'm in a better place than I was. So that's good.
Awesome. That's wonderful. I know this, we talked about that even before this program, so
Yeah, that's
that's
true.
awesome.
Well, that's true.
Yay. So then the question is, do you feel that you had a change that you wanted to have over
Absolutely.
3 months? Do you feel like 3 months was long enough, that it should be longer? Or is it something that me offering again might be that you just continue if that's what you want to do, as opposed to feeling like having this big 6 month period or something like that?
I have been wondering about that. Like, am I wanting to, let's say, continue out of fear of missing out, or do I not want to continue because of something else? And I think it just comes down to the 3 months worked for this, even though I know I'm going to continue to evolve it and whatever. I think I'm at a place, at least right now, where like I can now take it and, you know, do it myself, or I don't even do anything. I just continue to work on myself and then I see the changes. So, and I'm in your, what's your other class? The higher conscious circle. So like if I wasn't in that, maybe I'd feel like I want to be, but I'm connected to you, which is important to me in some way. So for me personally, I think I'm in a, like I was thinking about, and I think I'm in a good spot where I think the 3 months is enough for me. But that if it was something different, maybe I wouldn't think that, you know, like if it was like more of a tangible thing, but because I've been feeling it since the first month. Like I felt, you know, and I was like surprised it was so fast. I really like thought it would take, you know, forever. So I didn't even know if it would actually work. So the fact that I felt it so fast, and it just keeps, you know, evolving and up leveling, I think for me personally, I'm okay. Even though I'll miss everyone, I'm okay with like this.
Well, I was just wanted to see too, if, you know, some people will do things and they'll be like, oh, 6 months. Well, 6 months might be a period of time that more can happen. However, all at once, I'm a person who, when I'm in something for 6 months, I fizzle out.
Yes.
So then that's why I thought 3 months, we do whatever, and I plan to do it again. So if it's something that you still want to work on, we take a little break for some, you know, integration period and like kind of stretching, and then come back. And then I will invite other, you know, other people in. And so,
Since you're going to take a break, tell me when you're coming back. Maybe by then I'll want to come back.
yeah, well, it starts May. Hold on, I already picked the date. If my little calendar opens up here, hold on. It will be May 23rd, and probably like the week before, on like the 18th of May, I'll do the you know, the intro, so that everybody can ask questions, whoever comes in. And so I'll start promoting it beginning of May, because the max people I'd like is 6. So whatever comes up to 6, I feel like we had good at 4, but we'll see how it is with, you know, because not everybody showed up for everything all the time. And a lot of it's just in the group or private sessions, which that's all fine. So that's my plan. And like I said, if you do it, then everything pricing stays the same, even though I'm raising it for new people who come in. So just that. Okay, that's what I wanted to get an idea of too, what you felt you got out of it and how that space would feel. Because I wouldn't want to do 6 months and then have people being like, because even the first month, you guys were all gung ho. Second month, you're still kind of gung ho. Third month, because things just start happening and they're filling time and they're doing, and you don't think because you're just living stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so it's not all this here I'm sharing. It's just like, oh, I'm just living it. Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. All right. Well, thank you. So who wants to share?
I can go.
Okay.
Um, I'll comment on that stuff first because it's in my head. The 3 months to me makes I really like. I agree that the 6 months I think it feels heavier,
Mhm.
and definitely that fizzle out thing I think could happen. I definitely, as you know, I was in this other program too, and the amount of sort of deep dives I was doing in there, and sort of written follow up stuff, I was getting overwhelmed with um, where to give feedback to. Like, you know, if I hadn't have been in that, I think I could have been, show up more in this program. However, what I noticed was for me, really, this last month is as things were coalescing, I could do a lot more snippets of clarity.
Mhm.
Whoa, this happened, and I need reflection, or whoa, this was exciting, and I just wanted to share. Where those first 2 months, I also felt it immediately, but um, it was definitely um, more in that swirly place.
Mhm.
So
You did share a lot. I mean, a lot though. So you did post. I mean,
yeah, and I guess for me, it felt more like, and I was efforting. I was really needing to.
very detailed, like you were including all the details instead of, like you said, the snippets where you just.
Yeah. Well, because I was taught, one, you had deadlines, which were absolutely essential because I was in this, in this altered state world of, trying to draw it in. And I was having to like talk it out.
Mhm.
I couldn't see the pattern. So I was needing to kind of write down the stream of consciousness, which ended up more like a travel log to my life. um, and then as things got lighter, as I up leveled, I think that's how I then began to not need to talk it out. I was able to handle the downloads and glean the insights from it, as opposed to go, where are my signposts? What road am I on? Like, holy cow. So yeah, I really liked the whole setup. I think this call is definitely that sort of end point that I needed, so that I don't know, closure or just bookending.
Mhm.
Um, because I don't think I would want to like just stay in contact on Facebook, or have that kind of a support container. Um, and um, I think I may do it again. I need this little bit of integration time,
Mhm.
especially
It's a break. Yeah, a little break there.
right. Um,
Spring break.
break, right? Good. Especially because what I'm manifesting is really big, and I don't know if I would want to, keep having that um, support around it, especially because my other program is ending as well, or if I want to go on to the second of my three things,
Mhm.
um, which again is very married to the romance piece, of course. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of all my reflection. I definitely got to where I didn't even know where I wanted to get to, really. But I think I feel like I got even more than I could have imagined. And today, at a very, like, very strong download, insight, holy shit moment, in the vibrational thing today. But frankly, the last 4 days has just been um, like I can really feel myself in the places that I would be in this business, like viscerally today, particularly, and it scares pants off of me for a reason. I'll give you the insight in a moment, but I really feel balanced in um, imagining. It's not even imagining myself. I feel grounded and centered.
Mhm.
You know, it really feels like it's here,
Mhm.
and just the details of it physically showing up. You know, it's just like, what time was that supposed to happen? You know, it's I can't even entirely describe it. One, because I'm a little bit in shock today. So yeah, I definitely got where I was hoping, or beyond where I was hoping, or all of that. So I think my last post I mentioned, I've been going back and forth over going going to this thing out in LA, right? Um, and I don't know if I put it in my last post, but on Friday, I had a pre-coaching call for that, and
Mhm.
the person said focus on um, the takeaway was I think you need to focus on the business side of this person's life, not the family.
Mhm.
So today in the vibrational blast, um, what I got was, hold on, I'm trying to, there were so many little bits. Basically, this thing going down the business side, it started opening up so many, like I did this keyword search, like I started to, get exactly how I would align the energy conversation with their understanding of words in the corporate world. Um, but what I got today was this is a completion, or a final on the other side of the wall from my Wall Street Journal job. Um, that was the world where I went past the 100K salary, that I was going to these exclusive membership clubs in New York City, that I was going to ultra high net worth car shows and finance conferences, and putting packages together in that world, and part of the team that put on the party for Murdoch when he bought the journal, like, and it was the most toxic 2 years of my life, and I've never been able to allow myself to have over $100,000 salary again, you know. Um, and I got fired from that job, thank God. But that's a separate conversation. And I realized in the blast all of that today, but also like the first price point for this annual package I had in my brain was $100,000,
Mhm.
and I had gotten some feedback of, well, what a billionaire might not think $100,000 is that much money, and this person was saying they had a client who said he didn't buy some service because it was only $10,000 a month. And I'm like, well, okay, well, what if we went to 120,000 for the package for a year? Because then that's at least 10,000 a month. And every time I thought about it being more than $100,000, I got a little short of breath. And I was like, holy crap, that's the again, that's the, I guess, block wall I put up
Mhm.
I got fired from the journal. I was like, I'm never going to do that again. And I haven't.
It's what the money represents to you.
Yeah.
That level of money represents that. Mhm.
Yeah. And yet the people, the actual actually it speaks a little bit to the beginning of our group conversation. All of that toxicity was in the marketing group. It was in the service people,
Mhm.
where the actual people in that world that we were creating things around and for were lovely. Like they operated on that higher vibration. Um, and all my life has been pushing me towards that, right? So the other download I got today was that sort of this fear of wanting, that it was actually a fear of the business side of this person's life
Mhm.
made me want to work with the family side. Like I didn't even see that that was a fear making me go over here. Um, and it all goes back to this unresolved, I guess, trauma from my Wall Street Journal days. Um, and even the idea of being called a coach or a consultant, like I haven't wanted anything to do with it. I'm like, no, I'm just going to show up. I'm going to do my energy clearing vibe, and we don't even have to talk because this is this is this is just energy clearing. Like, and yet the other side of the work I do is the spirit side of Chinese medicine. It is the kind of the personality, communication, how you interact piece. And I've been ignoring that also, and which I think is also, again, I was putting blinders on because I didn't want to have that Wall Street Journal experience again.
Mhm.
So I'm a little bit in shock today because I just, and my friend said it really well today, and my roommate, she's like, our souls want completion for the experience they signed up for. And if you can't do it in this life, you're going to do it in another life, but your soul's going to make it happen.
Mhm.
And, and, um, and in some ways, she's the one that really brought the Wall Street Journal experience home for me. That completion piece. It's not merely a completion, it's a continuation of what got interrupted
Mhm.
so that I can do it at that higher vibration, and I
Mhm.
can have the joy and the ease in it and the lifestyle that I want in it. Um,
But you know what you don't want.
yeah,
So you now know what you don't want it to be. So focus on what you do want it to be and how good that feels, because you're the one choosing to do it now, to do it.
yeah,
This is your thing. It doesn't involve all those other people.
right,
So
right.
all of this, I wrote down, this occurred for you to make this powerful decision. For what you're doing with you, going to LA. But the opportunity to create change for yourself and those you work with came because of what you experienced before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And now, quite literally, I can pinpoint in time,
Mhm.
exactly where, because I prayed, and I prayed with a powerful prayer to to sort of release me from that ugliness. And 9 months later, you know, I have the opportunity to leave, uh, and an amazing severance package that most people wouldn't have gotten because of some other little thing that happened. So I asked to leave, and now I'm asking to come back.
The money that you'll create now is from a beautiful place. That was from a heavy place. This is from a lighter, uplifting place. And just feel it from that place. That's the old stuff that's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, and it does feel gone. And in one in those cases, one of those people are dead. Um, and and that brought me great relief for many years to know that that was true. Um, and they don't matter anymore. Those people and that experience. So yeah,
That
it's
was to give you an idea of that life. Because if you hadn't had that, you
oh yeah,
wouldn't know the connection to it.
yeah,
So that was part of that too.
yeah,
But
yeah. I see so many things that gave me that I've done that gave me the glimpse of that life.
mhm. You
Um,
weren't ready to be in it the way you can be now. So you participated in a different form.
yeah, and I've heard you talk about that before, and it only frustrated me because I couldn't even begin to see where that linked up for me or how to shift it, and so really this program shifted it for me, to go from the Cinderella to the princess, even though I hate princess
It's
analogies.
the visual. That's all.
Yeah,
You have
but
to wear those funky dresses.
but quite literally from a more of a servant position, which is creating marketing and promotions and events,
Mhm.
to actually being the one that's invited to these events.
Something came to mind after I mentioned that. I mentioned that the other day in something, right? The servant being of service. Yeah, the other night.
Yes,
And
yeah,
what I don't even remember. Oh, vortex. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm talking. Which thing was I talking? Okay, because in other lifetimes we have been servants. We have been treated poorly because we were servants. We were shackled. We were tied up. We were, abused because we were servants. So
yeah,
using that term, people keep bringing that forward. It really has an energy of, I don't want to be anybody's servant.
yeah,
That does not end up going well.
yeah.
So
And you used what was you used a different word, because that whole conversation came up in this program that I was in. The guy was using the be of service. What's the thing on, yeah, to think.
I just say I support and guide. I'm not being of service. And I listen to Wayne Dyer stuff, and he always, it's important to be of service. No, because there's an energy to that. And maybe, he in some way was okay with that, but people, well, you have to be in service. Like if you are focused on you, that is the worst thing you can be. That's what even spiritual people, well, you have to give. I give because I fill myself up. I give because it's a natural thing to do instead of feeling I have to do it. I want to do it. It's not an obligation. It's the ability to give because I feel so good. I want everybody else to feel good.
Yeah. And that word has always bothered me. My mom,
As me too.
yeah, definitely was that.
Mhm.
And it's always felt, yeah, one down like a servant. And I'm like, I'll give money. I've always been way more comfortable to just give the money, and that's how I'll do it. And I used to think of it as, I'm so sensitive. I didn't want to be around a bunch of people with all kinds of, thoughts and feelings running amok in some group, you know, uh, nonprofit trying to, help people, not logistically, not knowing how. I'm like, I don't want to be around that energy. But I think it's really always been, I don't want to be in a servant role
Mhm.
and feel obligated, because there's always some raised eyebrow or um, pursed lip, if you don't show up a certain way at those places. And I've never wanted anything to do with it. It's always made me feel yucky. So I really loved that conversation about, instead of being in service or of service, to support and guide.
Or serve people. People say, how can I serve you?
Yeah.
I didn't order any food. That's how I see it. Even we call them servers because they're bringing food to the table. I'm not bringing anything to the table. Yeah, so no, that word does not feel good to me, and it hasn't. Just like grounded doesn't. Grounded, what do people even? I don't think I was punished, but grounding to me is a punishment. And even if you watch movies, if you really start paying attention to all the things we watch and all the things they do in movies and shows, and I watch them, and I almost just laugh at how they're training us to think. Only a few have money. Most of us don't have anything. You have to wait on other people. You have all these things that they do, and what happens to the kids on any show when they don't follow you're grounded. And I was dating a guy, and he was supposedly, did energy work and spiritual. He did, not supposedly, but he was into that. And he looked at me one time and he went, well, if you're not good, I'm going to ground you. And that was the moment I realized what that word meant and why it never felt good for all these people go, ground yourself. No, I just centered. And I don't even think it's to the ground. I think it's in here. Everything's in here. Why do you want me? Mother Earth is there. I can, connect to her, but I don't need to run tree limbs and roots down into the ground.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good, at least to me. And if it feels good to somebody to say that and do that, but I just watch what people are experiencing and what they continue, and then they use these words. Do you ever think maybe the new words you're using are the reason why it's not feeling good?
Yeah.
Everybody, the spiritual community and these top people who are well known say these things, and then people keep going, no. Some of these things just no. And I listen to Wayne Dyer now, and I'm like, Wayne, I don't agree with that. And you can hear me.
Yeah. I'm with you. It's and we talk about it often, or it's talked about often as now as the patriarchy and colonialism and all of that container and words that come from that, and while all that's true, it's also this energetic vibration that has nothing to do with that, but the structure just keeps molding.
And we have to change that. That's why the world isn't working the way it is. We're going to revamp everything and do it the way we really feel into it.
Well, and even this energy work that I'm doing, that I started doing it for myself. Mm-hmm. I did a certification program because I wanted more of it for me, because I'm like, I'm messed up. I need this, and when I do it for someone, I receive the benefit. But by the time I got done with all of it, I was like, I feel so much better, and I want other people to feel better. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring this to the world. And I've never had that. I had never had that thought before, Everything
I've ever done is because I was interested in it first. And then once I knew what it was like, I wanted to show other people. Yeah, that's just natural. Yeah. Shannon, your camera's going all over your phone. You're gonna have to unmute yourself, because you get to talk. So, so you feel like you did get what you wanted or more out of? Okay.
100%.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And 3 months is good, even if it isn't like fully complete at the end, it still is.
Yeah, I think if it had been 6, I wouldn't have paid as much attention.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The 3 months made it have some urgency, and
I like that. Okay.
And I wanted to hold myself accountable, but I'm glad your deadline posts made me accountable, because I was having trouble holding myself accountable. But it's the urgency piece, and I think it helped me. The urgency helped me focus, or want to focus more, so that I could see those mini micro shifts happening in a way I don't think I would have in a 6-month program.
Okay. It also is meant to really keep you in a place where you were paying attention. because people manifest stuff, right? And they want to, but they don't really like keep a momentum and a space for it. We like fall away and we forget about it, or we get caught up in something else and don't
Well-
do it. So this was, I wanted to keep you in a space where like, pay attention, really pay attention to this, because then it makes, that's why it seemed to happen faster too.
Well, there's a stamina involved. It reminds me of when I was doing my master's program, you know, or getting into meditation. To keep that kind of focus, that intensity of focus, is work. It takes a lot, and anything more than 3 months, like I would need a break. I would need a month spring break, not just a couple of weeks, you know.
I think it's really between now and then, because we won't really be doing anything next week. So really it'll be about a month.
Yeah.
And that's a good integration time. See what comes out of that, and then decide, do I want to, if you want to continue, do you want to focus on something else, or do you want to continue to focus on that?
Yeah.
Because to me, being in a space where it's constant, it just keeps you creating more of what you want. That's what it does.
And to what Randy said, being in the Heart Conscious Circle Loaded is that continuity of support that I need, that isn't, you know, so intensely focused, you know, but that kind of co-regulation, consistent co-regulation, I need that. And if you didn't have that after this clarity program, then I would want something. I would want you to create something.
A transition space. Yeah. I wanted to create everything kind of that goes together. So
Yeah. So
and they're separate, but they go together.
they go together. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All
I'll let
right. Thanks. So Shannon, have you sat out in your car?
Sorry. Yeah. I lost my volume there for a minute because it transferred, and I don't know. Again, right? It's like, okay, how do I get my volume back on here? Okay. Oh, no. Actually, everything, this is phenomenal. I can always just really want to say how phenomenal this whole program was. I didn't have any initial expectations. I've been really, you know, that's been kind of something I've been working on for quite a few years to begin with, is not to really have expectations with a lot of things. Plus it was like, I just knew I needed to do it. When you sent out the poke to me about it again, it was just like, yeah, I forgot about that. And I definitely needed it. For me, it definitely has brought the clarity and the focus in that I needed for the business. I've spent the past couple of years, I can't remember what I touched on in the postings that I've done, but the past couple of years has been a roller coaster for me with my marriage and the business. And it's been kind of a up and down thing of trying to focus on, you know, finally getting to the point where it's like, I can't do both. Those are two big things. And I was guided even before. You got to pick one or the other and focus on the one. Everything else is going to fall into place, regardless of what you choose. And at the time, I chose the business. So, but I would always still fall back. I was still falling back and getting caught up into the relationship thing that, you know, trying to figure it out, trying to work it out or whatnot. So this came at a time that was really, oh my gosh, just so, again, everything lines up, right? It was time. It was time for me to shit or get off the pot. And I needed this to actually, again, it brought clarity and gave me that focus time like you were talking about, to really hone in on the business part, and for me to let everything else and what everybody else has said over these years, just from, you know, my own healing journey, trying to get to this point, and thinking, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And everybody's input, right? Like you said, you start hearing everybody else's input. Oh man, yeah, I can see this, I can see that. And then it just starts messing with your own head. But to be able to take that space and focus and clarity, I have to say, and concentrate on the client was huge. In fact, didn't get to post it yet, but I ended up getting a response back this weekend from the one person that reached out about, gosh, I think it was a month ago. It might be a month now. I can't remember, but a few weeks for sure. And she had reached out, and we had a conversation. We did a phone consult type thing.
Mhm.
And then I actually sent her an email with the proposal, so to speak. I know we talked about that a little bit. And she actually reached out this weekend and she said, okay, this is what I want to do.
Awesome.
So I was like, whoa. And then that same day, her mother's emailing me. She gave my number to her mother because her mother wants to talk to me about some stuff because she's got some dogs as well and things. And so I was like, okay, this is happening.
Have
This
some
is
purchase buttons right there so they can press that. There's money.
Right.
And that'll be a commitment. That's the thing for both of you and them to, when they pay that money,
Yeah.
you're in, you're doing it. Yeah.
Finding it, right? So it's like, and I've been in, but since then I have been trying to, it's like I opened up a business account. I got myself on the PayPal and hooked up with my PayPal, like a business account versus my personal. And I've been still in the works of trying to get all that lined up and figured out how to do it. Cause it's like, it's all new to me. Right. And I'm just like, okay. Well, either which way I know it'll work out. Whether we meet and I get cash check or set up the PayPal, I do have Venmo. I figure I know the payment's going to work out. I'm just going to just keep rolling.
Yep.
And I
Awesome.
think that was one of the things too that really came out of this as well for me was the accountability, as Sherry and everybody else talked about, the accountability and just keep moving forward with it. It was like I kept saying yes. It was like, yeah, it's like I think having a group of people to really be in, again, like you said, in that same type of alignment and that vibration, because that's been the hardest part as well, because my husband's not in this vibration.
Mhm.
So living with him and being with it, it's hard that I had to go out for all my other sources,
Mhm.
you know, all my other spiritual connections and all my other people and all the connections I've been making over these years got halted when COVID hit. So then it's just me and my husband. So it really put me in that roller coaster and that merry-go-round of going back and forth between the business and him.
But it's
So
also
it
the
was
level of
really,
people that you're around too. Not,
Yes.
just because people are spiritual does not mean, I know so many people
No.
who cannot see visions. They stay stuck in this place. And it's like, you got to be with people who can see that higher side.
yeah, no, I do recognize that as well. And then that's definitely been a part of it too, is like, and why too, I realized and jumped into the higher consciousness circle now is because it was getting me back into that focus, because it's like, I've known, it's like, you got to be around the people where you're at or where you want to be at so that you can, like you said, and it was like, it just all encompassed this, all of it. It's just bringing the clarity and focusing on all of it. So thank you. So yeah, I am like, this is where I'm at. I'm like, for the first time since who knows how long, I'm feeling me as Sherpa Shannon and what I'm doing here. And I keep finding myself, like you said, in that momentum of moving forward with it. So I cannot thank you enough for this program. It's phenomenal.
Thank you for that. And how do you feel about the time frame?
Okay, so I agree on everything in the sense that, yes, I do like the 3 months. I'm like, you and what everybody else seems to be saying. I think 3 months is a perfect amount of time. It's 3 is one of my magical numbers to begin with. I always feel like it's the trifecta. It's the trifecta. That's all there is to it. I think it is perfect because it gives us, like you said, the time for accountability and for putting that, slight pressure on to keep things motivated and moving. And I like the idea of being able to, because depending on what you are manifesting or what you're working on, just like you said, we could be at a point where it's like, hey, I'm kind of like already, maybe I wrapped it up this time. And I like the idea that that you're going to be starting a program again, and that I've got the time in between to be like, okay, see how it goes with me. And then I can make a decision like, okay, maybe I need to jump back on board again because I do need a little bit more time with it. Or maybe I don't, or maybe something else. So no, I do like the 3-month period and then having the option to be able to jump in on another round for sure.
Okay, cool. All right, well, thank you. And I want to put together testimonials because
Yes.
what you guys have shared and what you've written, everything will be powerful for others to step in, to see, to show them like in that period of time what you've each experienced and what is meant for you. So I have a lot of stuff that you put. I'm going to come up with like some questions of what to include. I don't mind long ones, but on websites they're, on pages. So maybe a short one and a long one. Like you can put everything and then we'll pull out but things that people can relate to. So that would be really cool and helpful. Thank you. And I think that's really like it. Is there anything else? No. Okay. Well then,
No.
Good. I feel complete. I'm glad to, heard
Yes.
everybody's experience too. And, and I'm feeling your completeness. So that feels good. I don't know how to, I don't know how to say it.
The big part of what I feel is like with the blasts and just that you are all in it. Like I said today, when I do the energy blast and in the main group, I can feel people are like at a distance. It's out here. And when you guys started, it was out there. But now it's like you're in it.
Yeah.
There's stuff behind you. There's stuff coming. Like you're in it. It's not I'm waiting for this thing. It's like it's there.
It's
That's
yes.
a cool feeling.
Yes, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling not to feel on that outside anymore. Exactly. And I want to thank everybody too for being, holding that space as well, because you all were doing that as well for all everything. So thank you all.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to keep it small. Like I think 4 is good, but my thing was 6 in the beginning, but this was perfect in letting me know,
What, with the Facebook group, I think it might feel good to be able to have that live for another couple of weeks, just to.
Oh, I'm going to leave that till the end of the month.
The end of April. Okay, great.
Yeah. Because I'm going to go, and then I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to leave the 3 monthly clearings and healings, the future self. Like I said today, these are on YouTube, but they're unlisted. All you have to do is go to the save, maybe make a folder for this and click on the save, and I won't make them private, so you can still watch them. You can still access these. And then I'm gonna, delete like all. So if there's anything that you wanted to keep, you can search yourself and your posts should come up. And then, it's not like it was massively a bunch of, thousands of people post. So you can scan and find yourself and copy anything you want to copy. And then I'm going to clear that out. Look at the things I'm leaving, any personal comments. I will mention obviously your names, but I don't say your entire name in the video, right? Hello, just first names. But I feel like that energy is good. And then on the next round, do, like I said, maybe judgment, because we judge ourselves, we judge what we're doing.
Mhm.
rejection, just anywhere in life, feeling that rejection. So if you guys have any other thoughts, now I'm just feeling to like what a third one could be, because I like doing one each month. And then even on a next program, if there aren't any new feeling ones, everyone has access to the ones that exist. So you just play in that energy. And I can, I can vibrationally do whatever I want to things. So I just reset the energy that it's for this new group, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You don't always have to repeat or create something new because it's said, unless I'm really guided. So yeah, if any of you have any other thoughts, I think judgment is a big one. Obligation, maybe
Mhm.
being obligated, like you said, obligated to do certain ways, certain things, just things to clear out that are what stick us in places. Like,
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
the way the structure of society or your family or whoever.
yeah, that's why judgment,
Rejection was good. I like that.
rejection, and obligation.
Yeah.
Because even obligation can be
Yeah,
around
that's good.
if your business, you can feel obligated to stay in a certain monetary one because you didn't like, or because your family maybe
Yeah.
only ever got somewhere, and you're just are obligated to your spouse or to whatever else is going on in your life. And so yeah, I'll have to write that down. Rejection, judgment, and obligation. Yeah, those go good. Okay,
Like
Yeah.
that.
so that'll be the next round, will be have those in it.
They call it obligator energy in some of the groups I'm in. They talk about it and say obligator energy, whatever. But yeah, that's
There's also that people pleasing thing.
yeah, it's the same thing really.
Yeah, which is some kind of obligation.
I think obligation feels really foundational, and I think people pleasing is a part of it, but obligation is also so much more.
And obligation to me also has guilt in it.
Yep.
It has
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
has like several things in it when you feel obligated to
Mhm.
someone or to do something a certain way. And that's a heavy energy that we drag around. And some of these are just you don't realize they're there. Like I was talking about the next event for this month, process collective energy. And people just don't realize what they're attempting to process through their daily life,
Mhm.
that from themselves, their experiences, and then the collective energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we're all one. I mean, right? It's all
Well, we all
there.
are participating. We're all here at this point for a reason, and we're like the filter system for the stuff to go through. And the more conscious you are of it, the more you can let it roll through. But while I was thinking about it, I was shown that there's the processing from looking at it from the physical level, where you look at what's going on and then take that in, because most people live in a way that shows them what they are supposed to think and feel, and then they keep perpetuating it and wonder, why does that keep existing? Because you're just looking at that and then feeling and thinking. Then there's the higher one where you can look at that, but you decide how you want to feel and allow the things to be there's two levels.
Yeah.
And so that's just to work. I don't know exactly what we're going to do in it yet, but letting that come through. So whatever's going to happen will be processing, and then everybody can continue to like a processing, which makes it easier. Because sometimes I just will lay in bed. That's my like real tune in place, either in the morning and I will feel it. I can feel all this stuff, and then I just consciously go, okay, and I can feel it moving through my energy. And I know it's not mine, it's bigger than that. But it's better. It's better for me, because most of the time people are resisting it. So then they're just stuck in it, and you feel like crap. You don't feel good when you're more emotional. You just, even your body can hurt because it's trying to move through places that it's stuck.
Yeah. It's not yours. Exactly.
Well, it's not yours like in your personal space.
Right. Right.
But that's the difference of people, making people more aware of this. Because
Yeah.
people are living in, they have no idea this is happening.
Yeah.
And then people will know, well, I'm empathic, so I pick up other people's stuff. And then they want to put some wall up. I'm going to protect myself. That just doesn't let it flow either.
No.
It's very conscious. Otherwise, it doesn't feel good and people just don't know how to deal with it. So if we all start processing this stuff in healthier ways and ways that allow it to move really quickly, this world will, I
It'll
really do
start
believe
moving faster. It'll
the
start moving
world will
faster.
change in ways when people are, oh, it's going to go on for years like that.
No, it's not.
I like to lower the gas prices, and I've been doing it for years. And so it was going up, and I don't handle the how it goes down, but people are, it's been dropping here.
Yes. So I want to thank you because I thought about you. I was like, because I see I check prices on my routes to work and I'm like, whoa, I'm like, Tammy's working her magic.
But I found though, and I didn't realize, here's that guy again that I dated when I say that, he goes, but I'd be like, it should just be so much easier. He goes, yeah, but you've got everybody else viewing it another way. So you're working to do what you're doing while they're doing what they're doing. So the fact that like how many years ago, it was in 2008, early 2008, late 2007, I was married to my second husband and it was almost $4. I remember being at the Costco that I just got gas at the other day. I don't normally go there. And the woman was like, oh, it's so high. I said, don't worry, it's going to go down. She's like, no, it's not. They're predicting. I said, it's going to go down. And I told my husband, I said, you're going to see, it's going to say 199 on the screen because on the TV. And one night he came in and he said, Tammy, watch. He turned on the TV, said 199. He goes, and I said, and so the guy I'm with now, I was telling him, he's like, no, it's going to go higher. I haven't really pointed out yet. Did you notice?
Oh.
So yeah, I don't do it every day. If I did, there's that thing. I do it when I think about it, or I do, and I do it because I want it to be different. So, yeah, but yeah, so it is. I'm still working on it. But then I also got the message that don't always want to bring everything down in price. Why don't you just imagine more money? Oh yeah, we can go that direction too. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
Fun,
it's a little game for me to bring some of these things are just fun to see watch happen. My thing is like, let's just drop it and then we go, we don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Their response, move a hurricane. We're not sure how that hurricane moved. But anyway,
Yeah. Oh,
that's the one thing.
Yeah. Like you said, and get more people on board playing with it like that for sure. Will definitely make things shift a lot faster.
Yeah, so we all just can process this crap and move beyond it. But we must process it. We cannot bypass it. It must move through.
Right.
So
Yes.
very exciting, challenging to some degree, but exciting. Our soul said, yes, we're going to do this. You in part said, what?
I know.
that's how I felt today. That for a good 6 hours. I was just like,
What? I agree to this. No, I'm just
Yeah.
well, it wasn't really your choice. Soul came in, picked the body, just knew the body was going to hang out too. Okay. So that's why we don't do it alone. And I keep wanting to tell people that, well, I can do it myself. Do you watch YouTube videos? Do you read books? You're not doing it alone. Somebody put those things together. Get over this. This is not DIY. Fixing the back of your toilet can be DIY. Your spiritual journey is not DIY. Whoever came up with that crap. No, I'm just kidding. So, all right. long, slow route, or you can take the quicker route. Your soul's good with either one. It's what the human, the human wants to play in. I like the quicker route. The other one just drags on. All right. Well, I thank you all for being part of this. Part of my slightly experimental, only in the concept of it, because I already know how to do all this stuff. So I don't ever want anybody to think I'm not practicing anything. I'm just trying to figure out what works best for all of you. I got this stuff down. But yeah, so I'm glad y'all played with me.
Me too.
Thank you.
Well,
Tammy.
thank you again. Again, thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you for
awesome.
everything. Yeah, it was.
Now, I'll do
Really
one
good.
more blast on Monday.
Okay.
All right. And then again,
Thank
just
you.
play with whatever you want in there until the end. All right. Thanks so much.
Enjoy your trip to Florida.
My what? Oh, my trip to Florida. Yeah.
Enjoy your trip to Florida.
Yeah. And I'm thinking the mask thing will be done by supposed to end on Monday.
I was just in Florida. Not one person's wearing a mask.
Oh, really?
No, the plane on planes.
Oh, on the plane.
If they don't extend it,
Oh, really?
which they are not going to, because I don't like wearing those things.
I wonder. That's good.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
supposed
good
to
to
be.
know, because I'm going to be planning a trip to Florida in a couple of weeks.
The
if
day
I don't have
that
to wear a mask,
my
that
flight
would be
is for, that's when it'll be over.
right. Awesome.
Yay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Okay. Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you both on Wednesday.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.